Now, the current state of online poker is unplayable for average players. And what I mean is, if you're going to play this game, not take it seriously, take long breaks from it and come back, it's not even worth playing. And I mean, I get it. A lot of people play this game for entertainment, but at the end of the day, we all want to win. We don't want to lose every time we sit down and play. But, if you're not doing the little things day in and day out, or at least week in and week out, I mean, there's just no point. And I'm going to explain this even further as I'm breaking, this session down. Also, though, I got to tell you, I've been playing this game for over 20 years, I would say. It's kind of getting close to that. I started when I was a teenager, and I've been playing pretty much since. I've never really taken that long of a break before, especially when it comes to online, which I do prefer over playing live. It's just more convenient for me, and I just like to hop in, do my thing for a little bit, and that's how I do it. Typically I'll play for anywhere between like 1 to 3 hours at a time before I take a break. The reason I do that is because I like to stay sharp, and I've found over the years that, you start to lose focus if you play too long. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to what I'm saying, and usually what happens is you play really good in the beginning, and then if you're in like hour 4, 5, or 6, you start to make bad decisions, and you start to kind of give back everything that you made. It's tough, but that's just how it goes. So with that said, I'm going to go through some things that could probably help you out, but I also want to let you guys know we have a awesome community in the pinned comments. There's a good amount of people in there. You can talk with me, other high-level members, and you know what? I would recommend getting in it. I think it'll definitely help you out. Also, if you guys could tap the like, and let's get right into this. And of course, stick around to the end because we have we got something coming up, man. So you're gonna want to sit back. This one's gonna run for close to 20 minutes, but I think by the time we get to the end of it, you'll learn some good stuff here. Got very aggressive with that play right there, but player 3 didn't have a whole lot behind, which is kind of like why I made that play. Now, when you're playing, a lot of people have the tendency to like look at one or two different strategies, and I always kind of talk about this like, if you're not familiar with GTO, that's a very common strategy players use, and it's fine. It kind of teaches you how to play a perfect pre-flop strategy, which is fine. But at some point, you kind of have to deviate from it, and I think a lot of people don't really talk about that, and I'm just kind of being real with you guys about it. The problem is if you use GTO or you just play like ABC poker and you kind of like sit back and wait for hands or whatever, people are going to pick up on that, and they're also going to see what you're doing. And what happens is you kind of like box yourself in and you become predictable. Really, what you want to do is stay unpredictable at the table. That way nobody can really put you on something, and if they think you're bluffing, that's kind of when things work out for you. Now, there's all kinds of things you need to get good at playing this game. It's bluffing. You got to be good at bluffing. You got to be good at getting value. You also got to know that maybe it's time to lay this one down, which can be hard sometimes, but these are all like skills that you build up over time. It's not like you just play for a week or a couple months and you just go into God mode. These are things that take time. It's like any skill in life. You do something for 6 months to a year or 2 years, obviously it almost becomes automatic. For me, a lot of this has become automatic because I've been doing it so long, and I don't really need to think about it. I know everything so well. And it's just because I play so much, and I don't always get it right. When you play this game, you're going to be dealing with variance. Sometimes your bluffs aren't going to get through. Sometimes someone's going to call you down. In those moments, the other side of this is that, you need to get good at handling your emotions, which can be very difficult, especially if you're playing for a little bit more. If you're playing like lower games, it's not a big deal. But once you start to play like, where we're at in this one and kind of above, it becomes a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But, for me too, like if I, let's just say I make a bad play or I take a bad beat, right? Normally what I'll do is I'll take a break. I won't even try to, a lot of the time I won't even try to play through it. I don't really need to play through it. You know what I mean? I could, but I'll take a break. Usually, like, kind of the same thing, 3 hours, maybe 4 hours, or sometimes I'll just quit for the day, which is something that actually works really well too. So you could just quit for the day, come back. You got to start looking at this as like a long term thing. And, when you kind of change your mindset to some of the things I'm talking about here, I'm telling you guys, man, it's going to make a difference. But yeah, a lot of it just kind of comes down to putting in the work, staying disciplined, not tilting, and wanting, to improve and get better. That was kind of ridiculous right there. Did you guys see that? Ooh, ace four. Ooh, but that's why we also have the community, like I said in the pinned comment. But back to this, and for the most part here, we were playing pretty tight aggressive. I did throw some bluffs in here, but yeah, I mean, you just gotta stick around, man. I don't want to really give anything away, and I think we'll see some other interesting spots from some of the other players at the table here. Now, player five, that was a nice play he had in the previous hand right there, but everybody else is kind of like whatever. Player three and player one, I don't even know why they're even at this table if they're just gonna get in there for like the 200 piece or the 100 piece. Like, just do the full amount, man. Like, you never want to do this where you get into a table for like the min, right? You want to get in for the full amount. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. All right, queen five, gonna check it. So check fold here. Definitely not gonna do anything. Also, if you guys have any questions, comments, things like that, feel free to message me. But always playing. Always playing, man. This is what we do. This is what we do, okay? Ace five off. Technically, well, we'll see what happens here. Technically, this is usually actually a fold. If we're dealing with like a early position raiser, I think I'm going to make a call with it. But like I said, you don't have to play perfect, right? It's good to know everything, and if this was like an ace five suited, it's supposed to be a call. But since so many other players went into this, I am going to make a call. Plus, we're so deep in this anyways, and you don't really know what's going to happen here. And let's see if we can get a good flop for the ace five. Well, never mind. Player three is just going to shove here. I hope somebody calls him because that is ridiculous. And it kind of annoyed me a little bit because his hand's not that good. He's probably shoving in there with like, I don't know, maybe like king eight or something like that. I could see it. Look at this. All right, we got three. Wow, okay, 9-7s. Let's see if it holds up. Oh, my. Wow. Did player three got that? Wow, did you guys see that? He shoved with king three. Are you serious? All right, so kind of back to even here, but player three, that was... Bro, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? What is going on here? All right, player three, that's not how you want to play, guys. You don't want to do what player three did right there. That was, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get it, probably losing, probably tilted, probably just didn't even want to play anymore. And then that happens. And now he's like tripled up. Like, what? Whatever, whatever. Still kind of ridiculous, though. All right, I'm going to add a pair of threes here. I'm hoping player three, whoa, look at this. Raise. What's interesting here is we were blocking the flush, so I think he's bluffing here. I think player three is bluffing. Let's see if player five calls him. Player three, yeah, I mean, a lot of straights missed. We had the flush card here with the ace of hearts. I think player three got one through right there. I don't think he had anything. So that was a nice play. Whatever. All right, we got an ace jack. Haven't had a lot of good hands yet, but it's gonna get good. So continue sticking with me. And of course, nothing. No one wanted to play that. All right, 5-7 offsuit. Gonna be letting this one go. If it was suited, one of my favorite hands when it's suited. All right, player 3 taking forever here. Okay, we took it down with the 5-7 offsuit. I'll take that. All right, 9-2. Now I think we got a couple more hands here, and we are gonna, kind of get into what we've been waiting for here. But like I said, man, if you guys anything you want to message me, feel free to hit me up in the comments. But folding back to player 3, who's been playing bizarre, All right. Definitely feel like this is a flop. Player 3 is gonna do something. All right, and the aggression worked out for him that time with the 9-3. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like that guy. Oh, how is he still at the table? I'll tell you what, the 9-3. You know what? Okay, so here we go. Slowed this one down because this was kind of our moment to shine here. We're gonna have pocket kings. Finally got a good hand. I think other than ace jack, we haven't really had a whole lot in this one. But now we got kings. Feeling pretty good about that. And we are gonna raise it up. All right, now player 6, I think is going to be the initial raiser here, and then I had to kind of like come up with a with a good sizing here. And look at this. This was very strange, right? So, normally you do like you don't just raise it out the gate like that to the 40 piece. So this kind of gave me an opportunity to really just kind of like kick this up to. I actually went pretty big with it. I thought about going to like 80 or 100. But we went for the 140 piece. I don't know why. I just was like 140 sounds good to me. So that's what we're going to do here. And I figure because, he already, opened so big that he's probably going to make this call. We don't want to see pocket aces. It's always a possibility. But when you got pocket kings, it's not like you can't slow play it. So, you know, and if player 6 does have pocket aces, it's just a cooler situation. Like there's nothing I can do about it. And it is what it is. Like we're never getting away here. Okay, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna shove on us here. Let me see. Maybe he called. I'm not like 100% sure on what he did. I think he shoved. He let the clock run down a little bit here, not too long. Before he made his move. And I mean, if you're gonna shove, then we know ace king suited, pocket aces, and then you got some pocket queens in the mix that might make this play too. Unlikely though. It just seems like aces or ace king, but we can't get away from pocket queens and kings anyways. I'm sorry. And really nothing to think about here. We just don't want to see aces, and he is going to turn over queens. So real good spot for us, and it got even better because he was drawing dead. We are blocking the diamonds, so we don't have to worry about that. Hit the king, and good night, sir. Good night. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed another update here. Check out the pinned comment for the community. Tap the like, subscribe. Thanks for watching this, and we will see you in the next video.